the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports.
We got this.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first one as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it.
Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor, and he shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free.
Yeah, and folks, this is not an accident. This is by design. They wanted to clear out the middle of the field, and then if no one's open, they've got a safety valve they can just dump it down to, and he's got all sorts of space to roam there, and he turns it into a really big play.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now it's Jackson. Touchdown! That's caught. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They will be led out by the Heisman team from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. But look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 20 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the next-gen stats show him reaching at a top speed of 20 miles an hour. On third down, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one. Now a hit and a loose football. And he takes gets it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Well, that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Extra point put through by Boswell.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Jackson.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different...
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 44 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there, and right now, he is tired.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Chase Claypool,
68 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Boswell good with the extra point.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson now.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And this one to the 41.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
Finding room inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
54 yards. And the Ravens have broken the tie. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Takes it at the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A first down throw from Mayfield. It's brought in by Harris. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 7. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He's already found the end zone once in this half, and they do a nice job there pushing him backwards and denied his bid for a 2nd score.
2nd down and goal. Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Flush, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Mike 40, check, he's coming.
What's the run? They're running it.
They hand this off to Harris. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they followed him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Mayfield to throw it.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 21. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing, Mayfield. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the Ravens will take over possession here up at the 44. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tyson Alualu busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Texans who've got the lead.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On second down, it's Harris. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Here's Mayfield.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end, Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On first down, it's Harris. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Mayfield. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
They'll run on first down. Harris. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
Oh, that's a they just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Mayfield now. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. To throw, Mayfield. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game.
On 3rd down and short, everything well executed. He not only gets the 1st down, Charles, he gets the touchdown as well.
And you see the defense commit to the run so often in these situations. There's always that little bit of hesitancy, isn't there, partner? Thinking that they may play action yet. They took advantage of that hesitancy and found their way into the end zone with a running play.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now Jackson. Being chased out left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Tucker's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time. So make sure you get
rush coming, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. A little juke. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make 1 more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try and run the option. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be third and forever. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Mayfield on fourth down. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
All day. Whoa. Let's get it.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Edwards. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
This has not been a fun game for this defense. They've definitely had their share of struggles, but they needed to make a play right there, and they finally get it done on third and goal.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies. Base. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 70 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The drive will start with an option going left. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Mayfield and the offense now. Down by 13, a little over 30 seconds remaining.
It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down.
Mayfield.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the 1st quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Ravens, They did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.
up, I'm fired up. Don't run from rap. 1, 2, 3. Hey. I'm ready for more. Tell them I'm ready for more. Game time. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. I just got 20, I'm running on empty. There's more where that came from, my money is silly. I feel like envy, not trying to be friendly. It is what it is, if you want me, come get me. Whenever you ready, no, I keep it steady. Yeah, I get the W, throw the confetti. Please do not tempt me, don't hold it against me. We about that action, don't ever forget it. Squad of gorillas, the army, the navy. When I call a play, I'ma score like I'm Brady. The title is mine, if you want it, come take it. I'm ready for more. Tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. I'm ready for more. Whole squad in the field, yeah, we tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war.